First of all, guys, welcome to Sunday's video. Today we're going to take a look at CBC. Yep, don't switch off. It's CBC and it's really good. It's actually something good that they did. So please don't switch off when I say CBC. Because I know a lot of you people who watch me and who watch Clyde do something and stuff, you won't watch CBC. But I watched it the other night. Now, this article I'm going to show you today, it's a couple of weeks old, although I only watched it the other night. It was only on the main channel like 2 nights ago. But it's definitely worth sharing. It's the CBC, and they're asking a police guy questions in Belleville where there was recently like many overdoses and a real big addiction problem in Belleville. So this cop, he tells it as it is. Anyway, I'll show you. Before we move on to there, I'm gonna show you that, and then we're gonna go into the comment section after that. Okay? So let's move straight into the CBC. As you can see, this is directly from the CBC News YouTube page, and it was, like I said, it was actually on TV. So we're going to go for an inside look at Belleville's state of emergency, and here he starts to talk to this awesome policeman who tells it 100% as it is.
This is the epitome of a revolving door. I talk to people about the bail system and they go, well, what do you mean they let hardcore drug dealers out that have guns on them?
Constable Aaron Crawford, we've been wanting to talk to him since we got here, and just before we need to head back, he gets the green light to go on camera. How do you describe what's happening here right now in Belleville?
I would say that this is the crux of poor policy and poor decision all come to a head all at the same time. You have a legal system that's incredibly soft on crime and on criminals. You have a mental health system that's, quite frankly, failing tax-paying and non-tax-paying citizens here in Ontario.
It's also failing citizens and tax-paying citizens in Toronto and in many provinces. The catch and release is ridiculous in Canada. I just don't believe that the courts are doing this. The police are doing a really, the best job they can do, and the courts just let them back out on the street. It must be so frustrating.
And things are kind of at their breaking point. This is the result. You have people that are unmedicated, unwell, and they're medicating themselves with drugs on the street. Fentanyl, they're using fentanyl because they don't want to feel anymore. They're defeated.
He tells us he's been watching things go from bad to worse, knows most people by name, either because he's tried to save them or because he's arrested them over and over again.
I mean, if I charge someone for theft or mischief, they go to the courthouse, they get released because they're trying to fund their addiction. If I take them to the hospital, they don't get held because they're in a drug-induced psychosis. It just seems that there's just nowhere for these people to go.
We ask him about those concerns that the residents brought up, about the thefts, the break-ins, the vandalism.
It's either I bring them to court, get them charged, or charge them, and they're not held accountable for the criminal act that they're doing. And again, I think it's because out of reasons of compassion. But then they're also not being institutionalized. I could introduce you to a couple people probably at 60 Bridge who would ramble on and make no sense, would not be able to have a full-fledged conversation like you or I are having right now. And that's because of their mental health issues. And for me not to be able to bring someone to a place that can actually look after that person, because right now that type of a person cannot look after themselves and they are being left on the street. That is frustrating.
Picking up the same people for the same crimes day after day. He says he tries to get them help instead of laying charges, but there is no help anywhere. So after a few arrests,
eventually it comes to a head where we're charging people for the crimes that they're committing. Smashing windows, thefts, all the things that probably you're hearing are affecting the downtown area. And we're sending them to the courts, and the courts are essentially saying this person may be doing these things because they're in the midst of a mental health crisis. And that would bring us to our bail system. So our bail system, people are getting released left, right, and center for the same crimes over and over and over
Just
again.
what I was
Has the
saying.
system failed you, your city?
I think that the system's failed a lot of communities, not just Belleville. Just look at the last 2 weeks. I mean, we're talking about people dying in dumpsters. We're talking about people that are dying on the front of a sidewalk that they've been released to. I just shake my head at people who, I just shake my head and kind of go, why, how do the people that are in charge not see that they're the ones causing some of this?
So what do you guys think? He's right, isn't it? The charge and bail and release thing, it's ridiculous. The only thing they can charge these people with is something not to do with what they're taking. That's like small misdemeanors. Because of the decriminalization of what they're doing, it's just their hands are tied. They can't actually prosecute them for handling the things that they're using, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to tiptoe around it for YouTube, but yeah, they can't arrest them for that, so they're only arresting them for misdemeanors, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. Just drop us a comment. What do you think? You know, hats off to Aaron though for coming on and talking about it truthfully. It's the first, for a long time, it's the first really good article I've seen actually on CBC, and definitely I thought it was worth sharing. Anyway, let's move on to the comments. So we're on location for the comments. We're here. Do you know who that is? That's Mark Holland. That's his office in Pickering, 100 Old Kingston Road. Yeah, he actually has an office. It's been there for ages though. And I don't see any EVs or charging places at the back of Mark Holland's place. Comments. Do Canadians want an early election? This got a few people going. Oh, hold on. Before we jump into the comments, can some of the regulars stay to the end? I want to, not everybody has to, but I just want to ask a question that JR, if you're around JR, just also stay to the end, because you posed this question. I just want to ask people a few things. Oh, and another thing, what did you think of the studio look, or the car look, or the fact that trying to mix up the two looks? I like the studio. I'm not as natural in a studio environment as I am just sat in my car, you know, talking BS. Well, no, not talking BS, talking about how everything's affecting my life. Anyway, comments, and then we'll do an extra bit at the end. Raina said,
Unbelievable that some people still don't know what the hell is going on with the Liberal NDP coalition. These people deserve everything they get if they're still sitting on the Trudeau bandwagon. Unbelievable. Simply unbelievable. Pierre Poilievre, come on down. You're the new contestant on the Make Canada Great Again
show. Yeah, he is. Like, who else is there? There's no one else is going to run Canada the way that Canadians want. We want somebody to be in charge of the country, and actually for what Canadians want, for what we want. Canadian Greg said,
Now. We Canadians want an election now.
That was pretty much what everybody was saying, to be honest. Most people, they want the election like yesterday. Larry said,
How can anyone go on camera and say Trudeau is doing a good job? What the hell are they seeing that most Canadians don't?
I don't think they're seeing anything, Larry. Unless they're like what I keep saying, the blue-haired, the renters who get utilities paid, and they ride a bicycle to work to the Big Carrot vegetarian store. They're probably the people voting for Trudeau. Dallas said,
Whatever the fastest way might be to get rid of Trudeau, Singh and Tiff, Canadians in general are all in on it.
I bet. Hey, hi, just me. Some of these names, guys.
Jagmeet Singh's pension is in 300 days, meaning Justin Trudeau will be calling an election in 299 days.
Imagine that. Imagine if you just missed it by one day. Imagine, just one day. That'd be so funny. Sparkplug, great name.
I want an election so bad, it's the only hope I have left.
Yes, so everybody, we just want rid of this guy. Margaret said,
I like an election sooner than later, before Canada is ripped apart by the government anymore. We need to get some tax relief ASAP, as we are definitely overtaxed and worn out from the new laws making no sense. Pierre Poilievre is the man to fix Canada.
I think he's the only option Canada's got, to be honest, guys. If he gets in, there'll be people like me and Clyde and oh, it's over for Trudeau, sunshine baby. We'll still hold him to account and make sure he does the things he says he should be doing, because we ain't going to stop when the Conservatives win the next election. Remember, it's not an if, it's when. Trudeau is ruining Canada. That's an awesome name. I just have a quick look at. I had to have a quick look at your channel. You should be putting videos out with that name. Trudeau is ruining Canada.
I can't believe people are saying later. What the heck are they living in the same country as us normal Canadians?
Later. Why? I think Trudeau's doing a good job.
No, they are, but it's a mentality, guy, a mentality. Okay, calling out the bullshit. Yeah, I spell that a bit differently. That's something I want to talk about at the end, about having to do stuff like that, but we'll get there at the end. I pinned this one by Brian, well, by a user who's called Brian.
Never mind about Pierre making good videos. Justin Trudeau makes a great video. He said, my job is not to be popular, and by Christ, he's doing a perfect job.
Yeah, this guy is not popular, and he says his job's not to be popular. And is he good at it? He's perfected not being popular. Older fart. Where do you get these names from, guy? They're good. They're good. Gets me every time.
Pierre, you the man. Trudeau and Singh, they're a scam.
That'd be a good one for a t-shirt, I think. Jeremy Milsom.
When government states an intention to produce something that is now termed an accident waiting to happen, and when a project actually gets underway, it costs triple the dollars and takes double the time. That is the accident.
Just government doing anything. You're right. Government planning to do anything is just it's a disaster waiting to happen. Schwag says,
we all know JT is no good at maths, and the numbers are proving a point.
Exactly. Nothing's balancing itself. Why isn't everything balancing? Joe said,
I can't remember JT doing anything that actually benefited Canada.
Yeah, we'll finish that segment with Joe. Can you put anything in the comments that Justin Trudeau's done that's benefited Canada? Anyway, let's move on to just the last bit. I want to just have a quick chat about. If you're not interested in the way the channel's going and stuff, then now might be a good time to take the dog for a walk or make a cup of tea. But for all you guys who are left, you know who you are. JR mentioned something about going on a different platform to put these videos on so that the comments don't get lost. Now the thing is, I don't want to do. I've seen Mr. Sunshine Baby and it's over for Trudeau and his videos that he's got an awesome following on YouTube, like 100,000 views on a video. That's amazing. But when you look at him on this channel here, it's like a minute amount. And I think what he does, he just puts his videos that he puts on YouTube over there, so people watch him on YouTube and maybe not over there. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is what JR said, is going over to maybe this channel and maybe putting some of the more riskier videos that I daren't put on here. You know, things about men and not women and things about this. Hold on. Yeah. Leave our kids alone. That's from the protest I went on. Yeah, just things about that. And you know, things what I'd like to talk about, like the UK government stopping the thing that make children not do things and stuff. Things I can't say on here. I'm thinking of going over there and say maybe not many videos, maybe one or two. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a good idea? If you've lasted this long, just comment on top of your comment and just put, yeah, I'd like to see that, or no, I only watch YouTube, or, you know, whatever you want to comment. Till next time, guys.